Welcome to another video. This is a part of a series which I'm trying to make, in which I'm going to explain you how your mind works, how you work in detail in different videos so that you can understand how you are and make yourself better. This is episode 1, and in episode 1 we are going to talk about why you act like this and you don't realize. What does this mean? It means that why are you this certain way in general? As a person, as your mentality, why are you this way, and what can you change about it, and what don't you realize about it. Now the thing is, we all know that whenever we form something in our mind, or whenever we believe something, we believe it pretty well, but we never question it why, we never question it how. As I've told in my previous videos, you know that only when you question something do you know if it is right or wrong. So let's get started. Why do you run on autopilot? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Why do you get angry so easily? Why do you feel guilty? Why do you feel envious of that person? Why do you realize some things only after you have done them? Why does all this happen? I'll tell you this. It is not your fault. It is the way you have been brought up. It is the environment you were in. It is what shaped you that way to become like that. So now let me give you an example. If you had a pretty rough childhood and there were a lot of fights going on in your household and etc., etc., you might understand that expressing my emotions might cause conflict. So that means conflict is equal to not feeling good. So if I'm not going to feel good, that means I don't like that. Not feeling good is not good for me. So what do? I ignore that whole feeling. I don't want to even see what is going to happen inside me. I'm just going to ignore it, so that if I ignore it, that's going to bring me a lot of pain. What is a lot of pain? I need to argue. I need to fight with that ones I love, which I don't like. So like this, there are many patterns which you don't know which how you have cultivated, why you have cultivated. You have to make sure how to analyze that. And then where do the patterns emerge? Same thing as I told. You need to trace back. You need to understand where this is coming from. Now, if I ask you a question, why do you think about this, or why do you think you act like this in a certain way, or you might tell that I don't like this, I feel scared of this. Why do you do this? Because you had a previous experience where you got very scared of it, and that thing continued to reoccur every single time. So you got an emphasis and you have based that, okay, fine, I am very scared of this and I have certain proof about it. That means you went back and you traced that what made you afraid in the first place. So same way, once you have understood that why you run on autopilot, you should understand and ask questions to yourself that why or how this has happened. What made me think this way, in which it is not helping me and it is shutting me off, not making me open-minded. So you get what I'm saying. So one, you figure out the why, and then you figure out the where. Two steps done. Come on, that's already a big thing to do. Once you have done these two, it's just three more steps and you're golden. You can do this. So yeah, it's not you, it's your mindset. The thing is, once we have been accustomed to living so long like that, it's very hard for us to go out of our comfort zone and do something which is very hard for us. It's the same for everything. It's very hard for you to get out of your comfort zone and do something. So you feel bad that you are not like everyone. You feel bad that you are not able to do this or do that. In fact, I have felt like that so many times that I haven't feel pretty good, but then you can feel bad. You have to get up and you have to fix yourself. That is why you are here. That is why I am here, right? So all you have to do is not feel bad. You know, you have the solution in your hands. I am telling you what to do and what not to do. All you have to do is go through the step-by-step process and you're golden. So make sure to tell yourself that it is not me, it is my mindset. Your mind is controlling you. The thing is, when you don't know what to do, you resort to the patterns which you know from before. As I've told you before, when the mind understands that there is a lot of conflict, it escapes from it. It doesn't understand. It doesn't want logic. Our brain is lazy. It doesn't want to do all that thing which doesn't make sense, or it is just a lot of work for the brain. So what it does, it jumps to conclusions. That is what we do every single day. We jump to conclusions until and unless you stop and question it why this is happening. You will be stuck in the same loop. No matter, even if you do these two, if you do not do the third one, you will be stuck always. Because you have to understand that it is not you. Telling yourself that you are bad and you suck won't get you anywhere. This is what you need to do. You should question it. You should not get stuck. And once you do these three, how do you ask the right questions? Now, here is where the golden part comes, or you could say even the third one and the fourth one have equal ratios of golden parts. So yeah, we can say that, what do I ask myself? And in the same question, now let us assume we'll take the same example, which is, why do I run away from certain things? Now, in this question, which you have found from first three steps, you need to decode it more. You need to go deeper. You need to understand, are you scared of something? Or has someone made you that way? Or is it that you have understood that only that way is the best way for survival? So once you do this, after getting a question, you need to dive deeper. You need to understand. You need to ask yourself that, is this the best way to confront this feeling? Is it the best thing to do? Am I capable of doing something more than this? Write it down, mark it, and then make sure that you get until the end of that rabbit hole, and you make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Once you do this, your step 4 is done. And then our last and final step, instant change. What is instant change? Now let me tell you this. I have gone through this a lot of times. You know what eureka moment is, right? So once you, if you do all of these very correctly and properly, in the end, you will get an instant change. Instant change in the sense that eureka moment you will get in your brain, which tells you that, okay, all this time I was feeling this way. It really doesn't make sense. All I had to do was write it down on a paper, talk to myself, get a little bit more clarity, and then here I am. The problem which was annoying me, the problem which was making me feel sad all these years, is just gone. See, there are some problems which might take a lot of time. There are some personal issues which you don't know that it might go or not. But in general, most of the issues can be solved using this process. All you have to do is analyze and reanalyze yourself to make sure that you are doing the perfect thing. So, as I've told, let me rerun it. Why do you run on autopilot? Ask yourself why certain things are like this and why you act that way. And then, where do these patterns emerge from? Why do you act on autopilot? What is making you act that way? And then, it's not you, it's your mindset. Stop hitting yourself and stop being so hard on yourself, telling that it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. It's your mindset fault. It is your mindset's fault because you are in autopilot. And why are you in autopilot? Because the patterns have emerged and you don't know what it is. And once you know what your patterns have emerged, you know that it's your mindset's fault. And then how do you ask right questions? You ask the right questions by making a question from all these three and then asking the right question. And once you do this, you get instant change. It's as simple as that. So this is episode 1. In the next episode, I'll dive deeper into these topics and I will make sure to make this a series where I can tell you one by one how to make yourself better. So thank you for watching. Please do comment below what was one belief which you broke after looking at this video.